What's up, everybody? Happy, what is it? Today's Friday. Welcome to Famine Studios. I am your host, Famine of said studio. Let's see here. What can we make changes on? Ooh. Very fancy. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and do this through YouTube again. It's all part of my grand experiment. So if you are new to the channel, I am Famine. Normally I do 1/18 scale world building, prop work, the fun stuff in the toy community. I am a world builder. I am one of the co-hosts of World Makers Consortium. You guys may have come over here from the show this afternoon, or this evening, I should say. Otherwise, you may have found my my links through looking up toy stuff or cosplay. I do a little bit of everything in here, and I hope you guys stick around and enjoy stuff. I normally stream through StreamYard. However, StreamYard is plagued with problems currently. So I'm trying this out. I found another service. The thing is, it's right around the same price as StreamYard. They're kind of taking advantage of the fact that people are leaving StreamYard, and they're offering a very similar service at a much more comparable to the original price, but they want you to pay it for the year. It seems to be more targeted towards businesses. I am not an LLC yet. I am just a hobby streamer who happens to be monetized through a couple of different platforms. So I'm trying to figure out how I want to approach this. But in the meantime, it seems that YouTube's streaming platform, just their straight up streaming platform, does not give me the same trouble that StreamYard does. So, yeah, I just wanted to show this off because we ended last week when I did this delicious raptor, and I did add a little tracking device to his ankle. I just thought that was cool, but he got all sealed up, and I'm very happy with how he came out. And I decided for the eye to go with one good eye with the white, like the other raptor has from that tribe, and black out his blind eye. I thought it was different, and it's a little homage to my favorite TV show, which is Lost, when, character's dreaming and he sees John Locke in his dream, and John Locke has, they were playing backgammon, and he has one black eye and one white eye. So I thought that was a cool little homage to Mr. John Locke. So let me get some tunes going here. And how is everybody tonight? That's the other thing that I wish that I could do here is I wish I could show people's comments on the screen. I'm hoping YouTube goes ahead and does that. I hope that they go ahead and add. Let's see, what is this? I mean, I guess you could talk to me through this. I mean, I see you in the chat, so but I think that Q&A feature should allow me to share what you guys ask on the screen or talk to me on the screen. Also, for Halloween, I did. There wasn't any, like, we had 2 trick-or-treaters, right? It was the shits, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. That was the first Halloween in ages where there was just nobody. And I mean nobody. We got 2, I'll say 2.5, because one of the kids was a baby in a pumpkin costume, and I'm not going to not give the baby in a pumpkin costume candy for Halloween. Like, I don't like kids, but I'm not a monster, So pretty much we tried giving out candy. Nobody really turned up for it. And that said, we went inside the house and I decided to do a little bit of painting. So but yeah, if you're new to the channel, again, I'm just trying to figure out all this. I don't normally have all the quiet awkwardness that's going on. You are blue because I made you a moderator just in case. There's been an uptick on a couple other live chats of people coming in, and I know Bjorn is here, but I need to back up. But I did this. I painted I don't know if you want to call it Calora Studios or Creature Studios, Montauk Studios, but it was a sculpted zombie pilot by Sandy Calora. Sandy is a very famous concept artist and visual artist. He did the redesign for the Jurassic Park logo. He was the one that helped implement the font that we all know and love for Jurassic. He has done, oh, I'm so sorry, honey. He has done multiple short films. He's done creature work. He's done effects costumes. He is truly talented artist. You can go on Etsy, and I believe he's listed under Creature Creation Studios now. He's got a series of books. I have all of his art books. Him and his wife, Lauren, she's a phenomenal artist as well. Really great people that make cool stuff. And if you're big into, ma'am, could you not do that on my bed sheet? Thank you. If you're big into Jaws, they are the only people doing the Orca barrels in all sorts of scales. So be sure to check that out. And they have a lot of statues. This one was that color. It was that color to start, and I just took it from there and turned it into this horror show of a zombie. I used paints. I used model paints, glues. I used pigment powders, again, with the pastels. That's how I got that frock collar to look like worn and actually look like somebody wore this jacket. The eyes, I am so proud of those eyes. You guys have no idea. There is gloss over everything, but there are 5 or 6 different layers of paint and washes that I slowly built up. And I will have to get a much better photograph of this guy. But like you can see the way I pulled the brush, as I pulled it away from there when I was putting on the paint, I made veins in the eyes. I didn't know if it was going to work, but there's just little red veins in those white milky eyes, and I'm beyond happy with it. Like I managed to, there's teeth beyond that jaw cartilage and muscle there, and I managed to get those teeth painted up too to match the correct colors. Tears the back of the jacket to match the disgusting flesh, dirt where the jacket would rest against the seat. I wanted to do a cool zombie paint job, and I'm over the moon with how this came out. Honestly, I may have peaked as an artist. Not gonna lie to you, I may never be this good again at painting, but yeah, this was just like a sit down and paint for myself too. This wasn't a case of, oh, let me film this and record it, because not everything has to be content. Like, yes, I do this because I enjoy it. Yes, I like the ability to make a little money off of it too. Speaking of, patreon.com/FamineStudiosX. Go check it out. Or if you want to donate to the channel, ko-fi.com, ko-fi.com/FamineStudiosX. You can make a donation there. That goes like right to me, and it does go back in the channel. But yeah, I've had this, and I was looking at it, and I said, you know what? I want to do something for myself. And I just sat and jammed out to a little bit of music. I had a scary movie on the TV, watched a couple other YouTubers while I did it, and just truly enjoyed the process. And it was a good break from working on filming and setting up the camera. I had to do a complete reset. I thought I lost an entire video. It'll be going up tomorrow morning. It'll be a Sunday or Saturday morning, like upload, 10 a.m. It's the vlog, but every time I tried to save it, the program would get to 63, then it would stop for a while, then it would start to go back up again. Then it got to 91, and it would say trying again. And this happened continuously. And like it wouldn't save. And so I'm like, God damn, did I lose all this and everything? So I went back in and I just like walked through every single step I had and checked everything over and saved it. And it took about, I'm not going to lie to you, it took like 15 minutes for it to load and save, but it's not an overly long video. It's like 6 or 7 minutes long. I'm not going to be making a small fortune of it, but I vlogged a lot and I shared some tips and tricks like I said I was going to. And I just wanted you guys to have that. So I was like super worried I was going to lose the footage, but the only part of my painting this was the sealing it with the Mr. Super Clear matte spray. So I wanted to show you guys about that and how good that stuff is. So be sure to check that out when it drops tomorrow, 10 a.m. Yeah, it's just a nice little enjoyable vlog, and I hope that you guys like freaking dig it, you know? Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't throw my avatar up on there. But it's what it is, you know? All right, but let me know if that music's too loud. I'm going to pull this bad boy down here, and we're going to get started on adding some more detail paint. I want to hit this with some of that whitewash paint to really make this pop, especially because all the lighting that's on this is going to either look like natural sunshine lighting, or it's going to be this bright white lighting when I'm working over there, or, our discotheque colored lighting gels and colored films and things like that. I'm touching my face a lot now. I'm very aware of that. Like, I'm super conscious of doing it. It's because I'm so used to the camera being inverted like I do on the normal stream so that everything projects that way, that I'm not used to the white being on this side of my face, even though I know that's where it lives. But just on camera, it's freaking me out a little bit. So that's why I just keep touching my face. And also, I've had people ask me why my white beard is longer than my gray beard. It's not. It's just those hairs stand up a little straighter because they're tougher, because they don't have the softening stuff in there. But anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, we're going to do some detailing and some weathering on this, and then we're going to start putting the boardwalk on here made out of stir sticks. So this is going to be like a true Western / sci-fi saloon, but I wanted that Old West feel with the boardwalk because we can do staining. We can do kind of like wear patterns, not like a werewolf pattern, like it turns into a wolf, but like wear patterns where people have walked with their boots or dug their spurs in. Yeah, so I want to hit this with some more whitewash and really make these closer to white and do some more detail work on the wood. We'll do some staining on here. Maybe see about putting some decals or posters on it. We don't know. We're flying by the seat of our pants tonight. I want to have, the classic liquid, do a little bit of run there. We'll chip away at this, but we're going to make this thing look pretty damn cool, cooler than it already is, and hope you guys are here for it. So let me just get this out of the way. And thank you, my friend. Let's see what comments are here. All right. Whoop, what'd I touch? Okay. Q&A. So, can I put this on the screen? I can't. So one of the questions is the best Halloween candy. I've got to go. This is going to be loud. I'm sorry. I've got to go with the old standby, which is Reese's or Reese's Pieces. I do love a good Butterfinger, but nobody really does Butterfingers for Halloween anymore, which is kind of sad, but it is what it is. Bjorn asks, what's my opinions on Ewoks? They're all right. They're fine. Little guys. There we go. Sorry, guys. Ewoks are fine. I like more of the lore that people brought to them than what we have now with them. You know what I mean? Like, people talk about Ewoks and oh, these guys are sinister and blah, blah, blah. And it's great. And I like that. And I'm like, okay, like, let's keep that up. Keep that energy up for the Ewoks. So we're going to do we're going to get started here. You guys know I'm going to be using a variety of model paints for some of the super detailed work. And for my basic blocking of colors, you all know I use either Apple Barrel acrylics, or I'm using Deco Art, which I think is a subsidiary of Apple Barrel. I don't know, but they were good friends of ours, friends of the channel, and sent me a whole bunch of paint a while back, and I've been working my way through it, so cheers to them for that. There's going to be a lot of dry brush in this episode because we blocked in a lot of our colors and done heavy painting. So if you're like, damn, Fammon's putting, that paint on there and they're not really using a lot of it, there's a method to the madness. So here we've got the that white wash color. And to help with that, I just do want to grab a splash of water. I keep a bottle of purified water to add to paint sometimes. And just a couple of drops just to help thin it out a little bit and make it a little bit runnier when we put it on. Because at the end, before I do anything else, after we get all the paint and everything, we let this dry. I'll seal it, and then I'm going to do the grout, and then I'm going to wipe away all the high spots. But I want to make sure that this gets some pretty good coverage, because when you whitewash a fence or a brick, and when you whitewash a brick, it's not supposed to be it's not what you what is that doesn't matter. It's not just white paint. There's I think lime and a couple other things in there that helps draw moisture out of the bricks, so, and also helps bring the natural salts from the rain out of the bricks to help protect them. So, yeah. And I don't want this to be crazy heavy. So again, I'm just dry brushing this on here. Bjorn says that he is a Twix guy. Well, that's not true, Bjorn. I know you're not made of Twix, so. And one of the things I like about this whitewash paint from Deco Art is, again, it's an effect. It is a wash, so it will have a bit of transparency to it as it cures, and that's going to allow some of these other colors to shine through. But like I said, I'm not going super ham and layering it on. I just wanted it thinned down a little bit to go onto here. There we go. Now, any viewers who are catching the replay or even in the chat right now, anybody going to LegionCon this coming weekend? I will be there. Winsilla will be there. Some folks from Grown Ass Men Toys will be there. I know Robo is going to be there. So there's plenty of people from the community. Obviously, collectors and the like are going to be there. But there's plenty of people from the community to meet, and I wouldn't mind at all saying hello to some people if you're going. So please, by all means, if you are going, let me know, and we can do our best to meet up and say hi, take a picture, chat toys. Yeah, I'm going to try, and I say try, I'm going to try to get some stickers produced before the event to bring with me. I can't guarantee it because my normal sticker place that is nearby has decided to go full politics, and it's absolutely insane. While I normally am like, great, thank you for letting me know what your politics are, they've gone full tilt and purchased a rooftop of a building and put up a giant neon sign for the Orange Cheeto, and they're holding an election party, and they've just gone absolutely bananas. So my quick turnaround for my stickers, and they were good quality, is no longer there. So I don't know if I'll be able to get them completed before the event, but I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do a try, big try. And, if I see you and you're like, Famine, and we talk, and I'm like, here, take some stickers with you, It's because I got them done. And if I didn't, well, you just write down your address. I'll try and get you a sticker. Or you DM me or something. We'll figure something out. Ant, what's going on? Glad you made it. Look at that. We got 3 mods now. Good. Good. I know some other channels we're getting bombarded with some folks right here on election time with bots coming into their channels. So I hedged my bets, and we've got Bjorn and Red and you and myself, and I think we can handle whatever the World Wide Web throws at us tonight. I thought you were going sleepies. Remember I made fun of you? I called you a nerd? Oh, okay. Apparently this stuff is self-sealing as well, so that's cool. I'm still going to seal it because I don't trust that to save my life, but I do like the idea that it's self-sealing. That's pretty cool. Well, I figured that you would need the link in the morning to watch the show, but I also saw you were still up dicking around on the internet, so I rolled the dice. I was like, oh, maybe he'll come in. Where's Meg? Get her in here. She can stay. You can go. We'll have her admin the channel. What doing, Miss Snowflake? You being a good girl? You having a good time? So, yep, just ate out of my bowl. Just looked out the window. Having a pretty good time being a cat. And speaking of cat, there's a cat hair right there. In the paint. Not the sweat paint, but the dried paint. So, just take that out. Thanks, girls. He says he might pass out on me. Why is it always men? Just fall right asleep on you when they're done, when they've got what they want. Typical man. What's everybody working on tonight? Oh, veiny side down, baby. Got to have that texture against the tongue. It's part of the Snickers experience. Bjorn's riding home. Who's home? When'd you meet her? Or him. It's all good, baby. Also, happy Blade Runner anniversary month to those who celebrate. It is now after November 2019. Taking pictures for Toyvember. Are we calling it Toyvember? Is that a thing that we're doing? Because if that's the case, I'm claiming Famuary right now, live here in audio. Famuary is mine. Come on, get out of there. Pieces of dried paint. Come on. Oh, okay. Greebly's on a wall. What's up, David? How are we tonight? Thank you for joining us. Saw you over on the World Makers Consortium. It's good to see you. We're over here talking about Halloween candy and weird weird toy-related months of world building, I guess. Toy leads, picture contest with prompts. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good because, you know, I got a list of like 31 for February. I actually have 32. Just, you know, for humor's sake. This is really starting to look like an actual washed brick wall. I'm digging this. The math don't math. Yeah, that's the whole joke. It's the 32 instead of 31. The math will not math on that one. And you'll all have to figure out why. And we'll actually be smart. Well, I guess smart for me. This may be a given to some of you, but real quick, I'll hit this side with some of this wash. Just so that when we go to start doing the wood, I don't have to worry about, you know. Whoop. That's fine. This is fine. Doesn't have to get super close to the pipe. Bjorn, anywhere? It's you have to start every post with Schmebby block. That's for your Bjornuary. Okay. Cool. So that's just, like I said, I just wanted to take care of that a little bit. All right, it's back over here. But I know I should focus more on the toy photography part of world building, I guess. But I don't know if that's you know, just because I don't focus on. I used to do ACBA, and I will incorporate that in my shots when my world, you know, is populated and I decide to start taking pictures and tell stories or do diorama stories or whatever. But like, it was cool to see those folks on World Makers Consortium and like the work that they put in. But just like I don't go out of my way for that stuff, and I don't know if that's you know, hurting my reach, I guess, or hurting, you know, the accessibility of my artwork for people. Although I don't think people are dying for, you know, Famine Studios take on toy photography. Like I'm fairly certain nobody's been asking for that. So I don't really do the photo contests, because again, it's like that's not my thing. Is I like doing the customs and the world building and the buildings and stuff and putting things in place, but I'm not, you know, I'm not falling over myself to take that photo or, you know, get that good lighting in a shot. You know, I want the lighting to look good for the picture of my custom. It's actually a paintbrush bristle, but I don't know. You'd listen to me talk about anything. Well, thank you, Bjorn. You're not the first person who said that to me. And I've got a couple of friends who actually put on my videos and listen to them to fall asleep. What concerns me is that the next time we hang out, I'm going to be talking about something I'm really passionate about, and they're going to be sound asleep. God damn, that Famine guy's got me trained to fall asleep when he talks. Well, that's a good reason to do it. Try and sharpen your skill set. And that's, again, it's a good skill to have. For me, it's not, I don't lean too much into that because, again, I don't, I like to think that people are here for the artwork, and not the photography is not artwork. You get what I'm saying? Future people trying to look into my internet history to cancel me. It's that they come for the painting and the kit bashing and the figure builds and stuff and the diorama work. I don't necessarily think anybody has looked at my stuff and gone, this guy must be a toy photographer. I got to get over there and listen to him talk about photography or watch him take photos because, clearly this guy is the shit. I promise you I'm not. But yeah. I mean, I paint some pretty cool stuff, I think. What's up, Adrian? Cohesive story in the world through 30 pictures. Oh, there you go. Came to see the cats and Mama Rosie. Mama Rosie's in bed. Oh, yeah, she's sleeping. Snowflake is next to me. If she comes over, I'll definitely pop her up on the screen, Miss Snowflake. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Mamo. He's so pretty. It's currently bath time for her, I guess. She's giving herself a bath. I don't want to, intrude on her privacy and put the camera on her. Huh, Miss Snowflake? She's like, that is correct, sir. I'm cleaning my cat privates, and that doesn't need to be on the internet, but I will come show everybody my butthole in a minute. Cool. All right. So that's been the whitewash that I want to do on there. I love that. All the different colors and all the different mixes of whites that we did underneath it kind of showing through, but also it's got that new white on it now. So that step has been taken care of. I'm going to rinse my brush out and put that away. All right. So now I want to start, I think the next best course of action is to tighten up some of the lines that we did for the gray of the bricks. Maybe do another dry brush of a different color gray on some of them just to add variety. I think it's a little too uniform for my taste. You're watching the OnlyFams stream. OnlyFams monetization of YouTube bots that listen. FAMS, fams as in family, but not that kind of fam. You get what I'm saying, internet? You will notice that I didn't do the wash on this because I imagine that this is made of like a different material. Same with the nice ridge rests there. But we're going to go ahead and, like I said, let's tighten up. I'll show you. Like I got a little bit of over on there. Throw a pale yellow brick in there. I'll throw you in there. How about that? Pokemon battling at that point in my life. So all factions, trading them. So I had 50 people. So I was so busy then. Yeah, but you gotta learn the original 3. Charmander, Squirrel, Bulbasaur. Nobody? Okay. Sure, I could use a drink in a decent pub. There's nothing decent about this pub. So yeah, let's just tighten that up a little bit. Where you going, Mama? You hear something outside? Oh yeah, she's checking out the window. Is it the Grays? Are they here? Hope not. Anyway, so I got the brush here, and I'm just gonna load up the tip, and that is a granite gray that we used, and I'm just loading up the tip just to see how it feels. pulling. Okay, that's a lighter gray. That's okay, though. We could fix that. Just covering that copper up. We can actually use this to our advantage. So I'm going to actually like this because this is a good angle. Because this is like the way I'll paint things when I don't have camera on me, or I'm not trying to, film content. We'll just pull this a little bit, and you'll see what I'm doing here in a hot second. And that was a apple barrel paint, by the way. Power Rangers either. Don't tell Josh. Damn, buddy. I'm not going to tell Josh. I'm going to make you tell him. Ah, that's the wrong paint. Son of a bitch. I can't tell you how many times I've done that this week. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just over painting things, over focusing on things. But man, I've dipped my brush in the wrong. Is that a euphemism? Dipped my brush in the wrong paint a few times this week. Well, I'm pulling the color up from the bottom. This lighter gray. You'll see kind of what I'm doing here in a minute. Hopefully it makes sense. If it doesn't, we'll all be embarrassed. You guys can be embarrassed for me, and I'll be embarrassed that I didn't get my point across, or that my method didn't. That's a little. All right, that's really watery. Wring out your brush, Famine. Wring out your brush. Well, I thought I did. Well, you didn't. There we go. Yarn made bacon and eggs. None of the Mon crazes, barely some Power Rangers, super fixated with Exo Squad, Mighty Max, Mummy's Alive. SWAT Cats, an anime you were too young for. I used to watch, let's see. It was Sailor Moon and Ronin Warriors were back to back. Sailor Moon came on at 6 a.m. Ronin Warriors was at 6:30. Power Rangers was an afternoon show for me. So Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was on in the afternoon, but then I also had Beast Wars in the morning that I watched, and then a little bit later when Pokemon came out, I got into that. Then there was Digimon. I really got into Digimon. Really like Digimon. Still do. I check up with the lore every once in a while and check in on those kids because they're still making movies with the old characters, which, they're grown up now and stuff, and I like that they're addressing one of those things as a child where I was like, man, what happens when these guys all get old? right? Like, what happens? What happens when they get old and like their critters? Do their critters age? Do they get passed on? Like, this is cool to see. Ronin Warriors was cool because they also had like the animal, the tiger, and that thing would get armor. And so like any of my toy tigers or dinosaurs or whatever would get, in my imagination, would get armor. And I'd try and like slap Legos on them and stuff. Guess I was world building at an early age, you could say. You are an old fuck. Not a bad one though. I didn't much watch G.I. Joe. That really wasn't a show for me. I did watch Double Dragon. That was one I really liked. Street Fighter, I tried to catch that animated whenever it was on. Sonic the Hedgehog, I watched a lot of that. Because that was usually on like as a binge. Like it was a full day's worth of episodes or like a block of it. You guys starting to see what I'm doing here? Just starting to make sense now. You're 40 in a few weeks. I am 40 in a year and 6 months. So, but you know what? Jay-Z told me that 30 is the new 20, and I've been living that mindset as much as I can. I don't know if I'm exceeding at it or excelling at it or doing good, but by goodness, I'm trying. In the words of Mr. Meeseeks, ooh, I'm trying. Or ooh, he's trying, you should say. I don't know. It's too late in the evening for me to be doing character work here on World Makers Consortium. And by World Makers Consortium, I mean Famine Studios Live. It's been a night, guys. But does that make sense? Does that look a little bit like brickwork now? Yeah, I feel like pandemic years should not count. I wholeheartedly agree with you on that. We kind of got boned. I think I sit and think on occasion. Sometimes my brain works. And I'm like, man, we just kind of like lost a couple years and we're like expected to just keep on, just keep going. Don't even pay it no mind. It's like, wait a minute. Don't y'all remember that we're just gonna sit here. We're gonna pretend. We're gonna pretend that didn't just fall on the floor. We're gonna pretend that it's not broken. I hope it's not broken. All right, we're gonna pick it up, see if it's still together. Here we go. Hey, it's still together. That means I did something right. I don't know how that fell out of my hands, but I also shouldn't be painting with a dinosaur ring on. Remember some of the 70s. Yeah, you're like, what, 5,000 years old, I think that is? You're immortal, a vampire? You fuckers are old. Yeah, Bjorn, we are. All right. What's up, Audi? Welcome, 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 welcome. And yeah, it does seem like it was ages ago. Did I just suck that? It seemed like it was ages ago, but at the same time, it doesn't. You're right. It genuinely, I don't know. I got feelings. But yeah, it seems like it happened, but also it's kind of still happening, like despite what anybody else says. Like it very much is still going on. We actually recently, the wave that's currently going on is at a new high for us, and infection rates are back up at 1,000 per day. Yeah, dude. 80s, 90s kids. Yeah. The only thing that I don't remember, I have crib memories, which apparently is very rare, and that's not me being like a pick-me on the internet who's like, oh, I'm very unique and special. I just happen to have crib memories, and I can remember hearing them talk about the Berlin Wall getting knocked down on the radio and in the living room on TV. I can remember, I wasn't alive when it happened, but the anniversary of the Challenger blowing up, I can remember the adults talking about that and stuff when I was little. And then, the first like real tragedy that I can remember was Oklahoma City. And what do you see, Snowflake? What is it? Nah. And like none of the adults could explain it to me. And they're like, oh, they'll tell you about it in school. And then none of the school teachers wanted to talk about it because, I don't know, we were like 9. Yeah, let's tell these kids about, what are you doing, my love? Let's tell these kids about this horrible fucking tragedy that nobody knows what happened yet. And yeah, just from then on, it was like on like Donkey Kong. Very strange times for us. Supposed to be in the building. Jesus Christ, man. You know how many New Yorkers I hear about and know a couple of who were supposed to go to the Trade Center the day that happened, or they were supposed to be working in a building adjacent to that when it took place, that just fortunately didn't go into work, or had the day off, or their train was delayed, or their flight got canceled. Just like you hear those stories, and it's like amazing for those people, but terrible for the folks that it didn't, that didn't make it out of the towers, or lost loved ones. But yeah, we kind of got horrible stuff happen to us consistently, and then just from there it was like nonstop. And then 2016, when they they killed Harambe, and just since then everything's gone to shit. And that's a proven, calculable event that can be traced as the marking point of a series of horrible events. I'm not saying that Harambe was the glue that held this planet together, but, I'm not going to tell you he wasn't. Snowflake, what are you looking at, my love? She's just over here clawing at the bed. Yeah. So I don't know if you remember the market crash in 2008. But I don't know how the fuck that all went on, and just it didn't click in my brain like how bad it was. But it was a very weird time for us. Carrie Fisher died. Did she die in 2016? And yeah, as far as the Challenger kids go, man, that was unfortunate. But like, there were just so many school children watching that happen live. All right. Gotta go. Good night. Everyone, wife wants to play Fallout 4. Hey, always, excuse me. Excuse me. Always make time for your missus to play Fallout 4. Debbie Reynolds died that year too. Yeah, there was a lot of people who just shuffled on out in that time frame. Very weird. So let's do a little. We'll do the wood last. Giggity. I want to do some weathering around this, the foam that you guys can see there that I put around the doorway, kind of like they did in the Falcon. I just want to try and decide how I want to do this. Snowflake, what are you doing? You got the zoomies? You got the zoomies. You got big old eyes. You want to say hello? Good girl. Say hello. Hi, everybody. I got the zoomies. And these aren't even the post-poop zoomies either. These are just snowflake up zoomies. Huh, Mal? Yeah. You good girl. Have fun chasing whatever it is you were chasing. Just stop scratching my bed sheet. Guess we'll do it with a darker brown. So I will use model paint, ma'am. I will use model paint. I'll use Vallejo Burnt Umber. You see this? Like, you see her tail. She's just over there. Smack it off. There you go. Did you get it? She's fascinated with this bug or fruit fly or whatever it is. I don't know. Okay. Wow. That's insane, Bjorn. I think I'll use this darker brown, and I'm not even going to clean the gray out of the brush. In fact, I'll pull a little bit of that gray into there. And if we get different color streaks, so be it. But I think that'll add a little character. And this is just like a rough, not even a rough. It's just a dry brush. Just something to make the edges pop out a little bit of staining. Because people start looking in public places, especially like old pubs and saloons and things like that, and bars, around door frames. If the lighting is regular and not like, some places keep it really dark for a reason. But if you go and look at the lighting in a bar and look at like around the door frames, around any light switches or like coat racks, things where people put their hands, it's filthy. It's filthy. It's the no-see-ums. No, I think she's chasing a puff of hair of her own. Like, I saw one of her hairs floating around and she was like, shoom, shoom, shoom. Try and find a little different music, something a little more. There we go. It's still mellow, but it's broken down by months, and each month has additional pages. And I would imagine, as we do this door here, that let's see what else we can do. That it would be dirtier on the outdoor than the indoor. You know what I mean? People start drinking, they get sloppy. You know, maybe they go take a piss without washing their hands. They get into a bar fight. They eat food, whatever, and like they might have dirty hands. So I just added that to my little raw sienna into that gray and brown mix that we're doing. Again, I'm not even cleaning out my brush. I'm just pulling the raw sienna acrylic ink into the gray acrylic and brown acrylic, and just kind of, that's a little thick. And we'll just kind of put it in a couple of spots around the doorway where I think that maybe like people's little grabbers would try and hold on to the door frame staggering out, you know. And yes, I will be making saloon double doors for this. I've got a couple of designs in mind, but they will be movable. I want them to be openable and closable. They won't be like actual action doors, like Wild Western, swing them open. But for photos, they will be able to. And I think that'll be pretty damn cool. And then we'll do the same, just a little lighter over here on the entrance door. Because it will be dirty. People tend to put their hands on things. And also there's dust and stuff. It's a bar, you know? And just, hey, hang on. She's playing with my Rode mic because I was doing a voiceover earlier. Ma'am, could you not? You silly lady. That's not a snowflake toy. You silly girl. Yeah, she's playing with the cord on my microphone and the fluffiness of my mic. What do you need? Do you need something to play with? You got toys. Would you like this? Get that bottle cap. What's up, J Dioramas? What, sweet girl? Would you like to come up and say hello? Do you want to come say hi? Or do you just want to wander around and be super fucking cute? Because that's what you're doing tonight. You're just being super cute snowflake and running around with the zoomies, and don't even think about it. Good girl. Good girl, snowflake. She is. She's a good cat. Want to see the kitty? Well, come here, Mal. Come here. Are you going to come over? Come on. Oh, here we go. Oh, you're going to be shy now? Come here. She's looking at me like she wants to get up here. She just doesn't know how because she knows that when I'm painting, she's not supposed to be up here. Come here. There you go. I made you a landing spot. Let me clean that up. Come here. Now. Oh, you're so pretty. Oh, you're such a beautiful girl. Come here. Oh, we got the cat. Oh, say hello. Come here. Oh, big furs. Yeah, you know you're not supposed to be up here. Not while I'm painting. Thank you. Snowflake says hello. Her appearance fee is listed on the sheet. She has a Snowflake avatar. It actually should be right here. There it is. I just have to finish powdering the pink on her ears and add the whiskers. But she does have a little avatar for gimmick. I do eventually want to do them as loft cats. That's an eventuality. What you doing? Derek will get an avatar in Kreiner Outpost. Awesome. Kitty, yeah. She's being a little fucking bonkers gal, and I love it. All right, so our next step is let's do, I guess while I've got it out, let's use the raw sienna for some rust. What you doing, honey? You just having fun being bonkers? And we'll do that with we'll do a little bit of stippling with a dry brush, just a makeup brush from the dollar store. I think this was in a 2-pack for $1.25. I really got to get the second camera hooked up. She's just over there fucking hopping around, being bonkers, chewing on her paw. So I've got this makeup brush. I just loaded it with a little bit of that ink. And we're just going to hit around, kind of around these brackets, I think, where moisture might collect. Really load it up on the bottom because gravity works that way. So gravity pulls things this way. So we'll make sure we hit the top parts of these brackets. And some water is designed, that's actually a drain. Like I mentally thought this through, is that there's a, water goes this way. There is a tiny hole there, goes into there and goes out somewhere else into rain catchment, because rain is, and moisture are a big thing in gimmick. People want it, and it can go to help making alcohol and other drinks in the world. So we've done that on that metal. I think that photographs pretty well, I think. I guess we could, we can get a little on this side. But I think those colors are rusty enough there. Let's use a little bit of this rust here. And I say rust, it's golden raw sienna acrylic ink. Hold it up to the camera. Focus up, Poe. And I do like that as like a standard rust color because it's transparent. I think that adds a nice little bit of rust there. And we'll go a little bit heavier on the tops of things because, again, that's how gravity works. Things flow down, collect there. Talking to my friend out in the West Coast, had to say goodnight. And let's see here. So we've got this. I don't know how much rust would accumulate. I think I'm going to add a patina on that. I'm not going to add rust to that, but let's get a little rust on here. Because like I said, I want this to be like the kind of classic kitchen exhaust fan. So we'll really cake that on around the edges. And get that on there. Really cake it on the bottom. It's not too heavy yet. Okay, and then we'll just right there on the bottom and then just a little bit on there. Whisper. That looks just about the right level of grody. There we go. Hell yeah. And then just to soften the shininess of this up, we'll swirl this. I really dried the paint off the brush just then. So I just almost tinted that metal just a little bit rusty so it appears a little bit different. I like that. So cool. We've taken care of the metal that's on here except for this. So let's do a, like I said, I want to do a patina on there. And I know I have a patina colored paint that is actually called patina or verdigris. So verdigris glaze, which will be our patina Vallejo. And we're going to mix it with a little bit of water. Like I said, I keep the water on hand for such things. And this is one of those things that I love, the acrylic ink, because it cleans up so well. As I can reuse that little spot there. So take a little bit of this verdigris. Just a little bit, because we don't need a lot, because we've only really got that, and then down around the base. A bit of water. Yeah, I'm mixing things up. She's supervising, Snowflake is. She's like, what are you up to, sir? And I really like a runny patina, because if you go and you look at a bronze statue, that's basically how those that patina happens. Is it just moisture runs down the statue over time, and it pools in different recesses and stuff, and then dries, and then rain happens and it pools again. And so you kind of got to just use your judgment about how rain or wetness, moisture would collect and fall. And in this case, because it's like a rectangle, right, it would collect on the higher surfaces first and kind of sit there. And then as it slowly starts to pool down, then you have less and less of it, right? So you can see how I've kind of built up a puddle there on the top, and then just go down a little bit on the side. And because I've thinned it, it actually, the paint will follow that natural progression down down it. And I'm going to let that dry up a little bit, and we'll do it again. We'll go over it a couple of times. But here, this is going to be a case where I'm kind of turning things and looking at it. And I'm just putting some of this verdigris patina on the lip that we made with the, I guess we'll call it, that brass color, that metal material that it's representing. And I'll just let that get there. And if a little bit drips down, that's fine. That's okay. One of these animals just released gas and it's most foul. Snowflake, I certainly hope that was not you. Because I just don't believe something that horrific could come from something so sweet, my baby. And that's the thing here is I'm just loading up those high points. Hey, Jess, how's it going? Just loading up the high points with, you on break or you home for the night? And I'm just loading it up with this verdigris on that lip. If any drips off the edge, which is fine, like I said, we let it run down. It goes where it wants to because I made it nice and thin. It'll add to the effect towards the end. But we're just going to go over this a few times once that cures off, dries a little bit. And so let's see here. You can kind of see there that puddle has started. So again, we'll just load that top up and let it collect where it wants to. And then we'll start all over again over here. And now I'm kind of letting the brush go over a bit, letting it rain down a little. Just adds some realism to that metal. Because while the owner is proud of the Lucky Raptor's foot, he also does not spend a lot of time polishing brass outside. You know what I mean? He's trying to make money inside, but he wants it to look nice out there. Difficulty paying right with these dumb virtual cards. Like, are you having a problem paying something online? I don't speak good word English. Because you could be making money inside, you know what I mean? Inside the bar with gamblers and all that stuff, but being outside and polishing brass and whatnot, that's he could pay somebody to do that. Unfortunately, he's just too cheap to do so. So there is some patina, but that also helps keep the metal safe. So, you know, you got to know when to hold them and when to fold them. Cool. Get a little go. All right, I like that. I like how that's looking. So now we got to do, I want to paint this floor here. Because there's going to be the walkway, the wood walkway. But I want inside the bar I don't think I can do that. I don't think I should do that. I'm just trying to think where I should do some more weathering. That's the conundrum, isn't it, guys? Where to weather? No, in order to make rent, I had to complete this offer from trusted site, but they were saying your pin is wrong and all of them declined, so I'm tired of it. Oh, I gotcha. So, just trying to think of where more weathering should be. And if I do want to put like any posters on it at this point, or if I want to continue to wait until a little further in the design. So let's see here. I think I know no matter what after it's sealed, right? After I've sealed it up and I get everything locked in, I will do powdered pigment and just do like a dusting of that close to orange, like a lot of the ground is on Gimmick. You can't see that behind me. Like a lot of the ground is on Gimmick, which you guys are familiar with. You've seen it a million times. Basically this color right here. That dusty orange terracotta look. We'll have to hit that and make it look dusted up like that. But I think I like where this is at now. So as far as the ground goes, I'm just trying to think of how I'm going to do the floor. So I know I want the boardwalk here. Do. All right. Let's see here. Because we do have a specialized container for this project. All right. So we got the wood. So I have a hootenanny's worth of stir sticks, specifically for projects as these, where I need a flat floor with stir sticks, made of stir sticks, I should say. Now I also have giant pieces of thin balsa, basically. That's just maybe a C hair thicker than that. Popsicle sticks, which are as thick or thin as the stir sticks. So we've got a variety of things to work with here. Yeah. Just trying to think of any other oddities before I dig in. That's another sheet of that balsa, so those will be good. Let's get that out of the way. And I do also have a dinosaur that just fell on the floor. But I've got a pile of former sticks that were a boardwalk on something when I originally made that saloon. So we can reuse those. And I think that'll just add to the beaten and worn look on this. So for an adhesive, we're going to be using Eileen's Tacky Glue. Normally I would be using Eileen's Super Tacky, but somebody in my area keeps buying it out, and I don't want to buy it online because for whatever reason it really bothers me. I don't know if it's a mental health thing or something, but Timbo, thanks for stopping in, my friend. Be sure to leave a like if you can. Yes, they are pilfered sticks. I obtained them through nefarious means. Possibly, if you can't prove it. But, yeah, somebody keeps buying the Super Tacky, and that's irritating the ever-loving out of me. But again, nothing I could do. So I'll show you guys what some of the used sticks look like, and we can talk about how I got them to look like that, and I'll do a couple just to make it that way. But so here is one of the used sticks, and you can see it's been roughed up. I don't know how well the visual is on this. There is going to be, but got that sweet wire brush. Super or turbo? Is it super? Is it turbo? I don't know. Turbo. Words are hard, man. Yeah, where is that wire brush, fam? That's a great question. Literally anybody else. Give me a second here. All right, we got to do some investigating, guys. Bring it over. Bring it over. Let's see here. It should live right here. However, it is not right there. It is. It fell inside the abyss. It fell into the abyss. So, get this wire brush here. One day I'll have a real studio. Then it's over for you, hoes. But we have somebody messaging me. We have this wire brush. And what I was doing with these is I would take them and I would just go back and forth on there, and it would just add little grooves, micro grooves almost. You could barely see them until you start adding washes and liquids. And just relax you as it always does and worry about it later. Bjorn, I can see you. But I did that, and then also another thing you can do, which I actually have really taken a slight amount of joy in, is taking an X-Acto blade and just letting it ride through, making a groove. I'm not even putting any pressure on it. I'm literally just letting the tip sit in. This is where it gets sexy, folks. I'm just letting the tip slide in between the grooves and just gently dragging it all the way down, and that just creates little natural recesses, and then hitting it with that brush again, and that helps open it up, and it starts to look like planks in 1/18 scale. And what we'll do is we will we'll cut them to various lengths and kind of piece them together. And we can also use some of the big boards. I think we'll use the, I think we might use these. And, you know, cut it to fit, but use that as like a walkway inside so that that'll be a different pattern run than outside. I don't know. We'll get there. But yeah, I guess for starters, I got to think on how I want to do this. Ideally, guess I should start by running a trim around the edge there. So let me get my side cutters, my flush side cutters. And then I'm just cutting the round tip off. Chaim. Jess, I will pester you with what's going on, Adam? This is a terrible 5 minutes craft video. No one's fixed anything with ramen. Jess, I'll text you and harass you when I'm done with the live stream as well. You can bear my wrath of annoyances. Did anybody order any pumpkin pies today? Pumpkin pizza pies? I'm making a fake wood floor, ma'am. Boardwalk. So we'll just start that out. And I've given it that wooden texture. And now I'm just going to put that on there. And I'm going to keep a little stick off to the side just as a spreading stick to spread the tacky glue down the back of the plank. And what we could do for nails, I'll show you that, the little nail hole trick, I think is pretty cool. I don't know. Some people might not, but I don't care that they don't. Is you could do a couple of things. One, you can actually use a little pencil. Oh, wait, okay, that's good. Where's that 1, 2, 3 block? You can use a little pencil to poke faux nail holes in it. It leaves that little bit of lead mark. No pumpkin pies until Pizza Papa says we got to do a heart one. He's going to make you make a fucking turkey shape. Oh, I shouldn't laugh because it'll happen. It's good when I rearrange things and put things where they belong, I lose other things. So that's good. That's all right. And then what we can do is, again, we did this one. We added the grooves. You'll be making using actual wood, making a fake wood floor. Yeah, it's precisely it. It's not. And even that, it's not a fake wood floor. It is a wood floor. It's just in a wee baby scale. And if you really want to get freaky with it, right? You want to have some fun. Is you can take your edge of your knife and just whittle away to make some low spots. So when the planks join up, you get gaps, and you can put dirt and grime in there. No, I'm not. I'm trying to be a little bit responsible with my spending because I just had to book a dumpster to come to my house, and also next week is Legion Con, so which I tried to get Site C to go to, but he won't go. But I want to be a little bit responsible and not spend my money as much as I'd like to get one of those guys. Those guys look pretty fucking cool. Not gonna lie to you. Dumpster baby. Yeah, literally it's dumpster baby, but I had to book a dumpster to get a lot of the stuff cleaned out of the basement, which is like step numero uno in part of getting the studio back to usable space. So, and then I'll just take this weathered up plank, and I'm actually going to overlap it a little bit so it doesn't line up perfectly, and push that there. Let that glue do its thing. I wonder. Can't hurt, right? And so I've got these planks, like I said, that I'd used previously. So let's go ahead and put some of those to use. And if you don't want to cut them into little sections like I am, like a maniac, you can just use your knife and cut a little tiny groove and then put a little 45 angle on a second cut next to it and pop that little piece out, and it looks like it's now 2 planks stuck together. But I am an absolute maniac, so, you know. Squeeze out's fine. Having extra glue on there is fine. They're dropping their panties tomorrow, baby. Isn't it the Jungle Trooper or something? Matchstick bricks are, yeah, I want to live. Although there's a very fascinating man. I don't know if you have a Facebook account or have access to, like, you know, some people have just like a shared account for games or whatever, but there's a guy who builds entire cities. I say that again, out of matchsticks or toothpicks, excuse me. And he literally just builds total fucking buildings and boats and stuff. Like it's absolutely insane. Like the terrain, the rocks and boulders and stuff are made out of toothpicks. And it's simply one of the coolest, but also like one of the most mind-boggling things. Like, man, how do you even prepare your brain to do that? But he's used something like over 1 million toothpicks to build this stuff. And it's just like, I couldn't even sit there and think of that. Yeah, here I am. You know, I talk all this ish about not being able to do that. Build bridges from matchsticks, and the teacher made the fattest kid in the class stand on them and grade them. I'm not an architect. Dude, I was thinking about that in schools. I know that the FAA has cracked down on like test doors, rockets and stuff, but like we were able to build rockets in school and test them, and then our teacher would like go out and buy Class C rocket engines, which are like the more powerful ones, I guess, the more dangerous ones, for whoever's rocket, you know, had the best test flights and all that stuff, and then they blast that sucker up into the atmo. And now you can't do that. You can't do that. And I'm like, damn, these poor kids, you know, they're not going to get the joy of like maybe possibly being the best rocket builder to send their goddamn rocket into space. But then there's other things like that where we didn't get to do the bridges. We never had the bridge thing. We had our engineering was cars, I think. We made wood downhill derby cars, and then we added CO2 at one point. I think there was like little CO2 canisters in the back. October sky. Queen Mary and a matchsticks in the museum now? That's insane. We weren't allowed to build a trebuchet. However, we did design one, but the school was just like, nah, you're not doing that, because we were going to throw pumpkins. But like we did the cars, and then we added the CO2 and tested them that way. And we had to build it in the computer as well. We had to put our design into this computer program, and the computer program would show us like how aerodynamic our car was. And then we had to print it out and try and make our car like that. But of course, I had to be extra. So I'm like, I'm using pieces of insulation foam to sculpt body part to it and all this other stuff, and like shaving off wood and replacing it with the foam with a little Elmer's glue and all this other stuff. And just, I don't think I won anything, but, being obnoxious, nerdy guy that wanted to do those things in shop class. My grandfather was a contractor, and I had access to actual wood tools and stuff. I was one of the few people that knew how to safely use the equipment that we were working with. Popsicle sticks and a spoon. That's like some hobo engineering. Gotta get to the moon, so I've got some popsicle sticks and a spoon. And there's like that gap that I was telling you guys about. I just created a little gap there so that I could put debris. Did I not? I didn't. So I could put debris and like dust and stuff down there, and I think it'll make that look pretty cool. Omniplex. That sounds like a threatening location, the Omniplex. Was the person that was running that thing the fucking Cobra Commander? Yes, we will take the Joes at the Omniplex. Okay. Stop moving. You just got to let it happen. You got to stand there and get sticky. Yeah, the Cobra Science Center for future enemies of G.I. Joe. Spheres Omniplex coming to a theater. Yep. This dude failed the unit because he insisted on building the Mustang profile. How can you well, I get it. Like, he wanted to build the Mustang profile, but like, how is the teacher going to fail a kid for building a successful vehicle? Or was it a case of it had to be your own design? Because that I could see, but like giving a dude shit because he made a cool car in it. I don't know. Carnegie Science Center in Pittsburgh is railroad layout. All these moving tiny bits all through it. When I was 5, I was living in Texas. My mom moved there. Mom moved us there, I should say, for her boyfriend who was in the Army. And he had to go to Fort Worth. And so that piece is garbage. So we moved, and I wound up getting strep throat really bad and ear infections. And they were like, this dude's got to have surgery. So they sent me to the Dallas, I think it's the Dallas like Children's Hospital or something, but it's a privately owned place. And the owner was like this wealthy old man, and he had the entire, like, one entire wing of the hospital was just an indoor model train set with an actual working waterfall and stuff. And that was like my first that I could. Whoa! Did you guys hear that? Holy shit. That was a train car down in the rail yard. Like, it's not even a rail yard. There's just a track section through here. Yeah, everybody's awake. The dogs are looking. Snowflake's looking. It didn't sound like it derailed. I wonder if it just skipped a track or something, or hit a deer. Jesus, that was fucking loud. But yeah, it was the first railroad that I can remember seeing, and it was very bizarre. Because like I didn't even know it was there until I woke up after my surgery, and they were like, "Do you want to take a little ride in your wheelchair?" And I was like, "I can't talk because I had my tonsils taken out, but sure." And then they took me down to this dude's fucking train room, and it was as big as like half the hospital. That wasn't coupling, because the train was moving. It shouldn't have been coupling to anything down there. I mean, maybe it was, but it shouldn't have been. But it was a very bizarre experience as a child to like be in a hospital, and then they're like, "Oh, by the way, the owner has this fucking megaplex built here for his trains," and it was it was 2 stories tall. I remember that. Spin yards about the spectral locomotive that would rocket past the farmhouse. Maybe it was the Greys taking out the train car. The train, I think, I'm almost certain that there's something about it on the internet. It's in Dallas, Texas. And yeah, just one of those weird things that I can recall from my childhood that was like, why do I have these strange memories? And then I remember. Put that in there. That was very loud, though. That was very fascinating. I know a lot of the locals have been complaining about the trucks jake braking at 4 a.m. through town, which I get. Like, totally agree. Very obnoxious. However, none of y'all live next to the train track like I do, so I kind of don't feel too bad for you. Go peer out your window to see if it's I'm not helping. What the fuck am I going to do? Do I look like a hazmat worker? Like, old Famine's got nothing for him. Those days of running to the rescue are over, buddy. I don't get paid. I don't get paid enough to go do that shit. And the train's gone now. Speedway, Windy Sleep. How long do you wait to hear the crash after the brake squeak? I think that Jess might be the only person here that knows what I'm talking about, where I used to live. But on Main Street, where the post office is, there's a hair salon, and I lived above the hair salon. And next door to the hair salon, if you're facing the place was the newspaper building, and somebody was drunk and crashed into the newspaper building in the middle of the daytime. And yeah, that was pretty scary because it was the loudest bang I'd ever heard in my life, and I didn't know. And it turns out that somebody was drunk and fell asleep at the wheel coming home from the bar in the middle of the day and put their car into the marble exterior of the newspaper building. And so all that marble was crashed and mashed up in our driveway in front of the house for at least the entire length of the summer. It was quite the talk of the town. Can you believe somebody was drunk in the middle of the day? Now half the people in town are drunk in the middle of the day and nobody says a word. How much to the neighbor's yard? Sometimes you got to get to the neighbor's yard. Man, we recently had a really bad one here, accident-wise. The trucker was going too fast, I guess was going too fast over a hill, and they came down and they braked, but they just simply couldn't stop. The truck continued through a house and into the propane tank behind the house, and that was it. Yeah. Yeah, no, we've discussed about that before. It's like, I don't get how people can do that. And I know everybody's got some pain or something, but it blows my mind. Gotta cut that. I should have nipped that one too. That's all right. Spoopy. All right, let's see here. Yeah, I guess I can cut that one. Oh, fire in the hole. There we go. You're not missing much, Bjorn. Let's see here. Jess, did you hear my story about the car accident when I lived on Main Street by the post office in Ravenna? I think you're the only person who would know specifically what I'm talking about, but just like the weirdness of that whole experience. Gotta bounce. Catch up tomorrow. Much love and respect. Good night, everyone. You as well, man. Have a great night. Thank you for being here, my friend. Ooh, sorry, Snowflake. Glad that missed you. Can't disrobe in a public place. No, sir, you can't. You can't do that, sir. Please put your cock and balls away, sir. That's a good policy, Bjorn. Like I said, you're not missing much. I mean, we'll get you on the crystal meth next Joe Fest, but as far as the booze goes, that's a joke. That's a joke for anybody on the internet. You don't do that either. Yeah, exactly. Nope. There's plenty of stuff I would not do ever, and that is on the top of the list. That and anything that gets injected into my arms, no, thank you. Or anywhere else in my body for that matter. Hard pass, absolutely not. And again, this is just me digging the deep lines in there. Get high on life, Bjorn. Now, where's your Ronald Reagan? Whatever. I mean, obviously, we know what happened to after school specials. Nobody ever fucking watches them now or ever would. But, like, my school used to really press us into watching those. And I'm like, we don't have cable because we're fucking poor. And they're like, oh, it's on ABC. And it's like, that's nice. Our antenna definitely blows, but we'll try. I don't even think there's an equivalent of after school specials today. Unless, does anybody got any siblings or children in school right now that could confirm that for me? Can confirm. That's right. You've got a sister that just turned into a human adult. Yeah, I think I can't. Like, what was the last after school special I had to watch? I want to say it was like an anti-bullying one. She also has a twin brother. God damn, how many Bjorgensons are there in this household? School special with Muppet Babies, Slimer. Remember the commercial that came out with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in '89, where the guy offers him pot and he's like, "What are you, chicken?" And the kid's like, looks at the turtles and they're like, "Remember, stand up for yourself." And he's like, "Yeah, I might be a chicken, but you're a turkey." And I remember thinking that they took everything but Skittles. And they would go, Code Yoko. And they would go, "Yeah, but you're a turkey." And then everybody would laugh at the bully. And I just remember thinking that was like the most badass delivery of a line ever. And now I'm an adult. And all I could think of is if I ever told a bully that they were a turkey, they would have beat me to death right there in front of the school. Just that would have been the end of famine. Just a fucking black eye, missing teeth because I was like, "You're a turkey." What an asshole. There were some wild, like the G.I. Joe, like the little PSAs after each episode. Actually, let's not use that piece. Let's use another one that's got an angle on it. Perfect. Let's go ahead and rough this one up. And see, I built my own lore into my shitty woodworking skills because I I made wood very valuable and gimmick. And so even if the floor is hastily put together or has crappy craftsmanship, because there's wood there, that's just opulence. And therefore it's acceptable. Ha ha ha. Nice job, Famine. Good looking out for future you. You know. Ren and Stimpy. Yeah, my mom was super into Ren and Stimpy, and that was one of those like cartoons that I could watch, which I always like growing up. I thought like watching Ren. I'm like, this is a weird show. Like this cannot be a normal cartoon that people watch. Yeah, it's a boomer floor. But like, yeah, my mom would put on Ren and Stimpy and let me watch it, or she would watch it and allow me to be in the room while she watched it. And I just remember watching that show and thinking to myself, like, this isn't normal. Like with the extreme close-ups and all the filthy like in jokes and stuff. Especially now knowing about the adult jokes that were in that show. Beavis and Butthead. I didn't like Beavis and Butthead. I know a lot of people did. I remember when they were doing America, that was like a big thing. Like everybody in school was like all excited that fucking they were doing a Beavis and Butthead movie. And I'm like, you got to go to the movie theater to see that, right? They're like, no, they're going to put it on MTV. Watch. It took like 5 years for MTV to finally fucking air that on the channel. Stimpy plays with his belly button and gets sucked inside. Yeah, or the when he's giving the woman the shower and doing all the filthy things with the shower, the soap pump for her and whatnot, like just fucking mind-blowing, the shit that, which is fine, like I don't care. There was the episode with the button that they couldn't push, and so finally, they're not supposed to push the button, and finally fucking Stimpy or Ren snaps and pushes the button, and it like wipes out all existence. That one stuck with me for a while because I was like, I probably pushed the button too because I have no self-control. Which is a weird thought for like a 9-year-old to have. Rocco, yeah, absolutely. Rocco's Modern Life was fantastic. Blue, what's going on? With Heifer and Norbert. No fish sticks. And Rocco is a sex phone operator. Bonkers. He's totally nuts. Bonkers. Wherever you are. Freakazoid was also one of those cartoons that was just absolutely fucking weird. Not as weird as Ren and Stimpy, but like it was for sure a weird one. The show gave you anxiety. What's wrong with your generation? Oh, I don't know. Let's take a look at some of the shit that you guys fucking let us watch. Then we can talk later. How's that sound? Oh, you don't want to take responsibility for that? Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know why I wasn't just laying the glue on and I was like gluing the planks down like that made some kind of goddamn difference. I'm an artisan. No. I mean, you are, but doesn't need to be every goddamn thing you do, fam. Not everything's got to be derivative. Yep, Real Monsters was weird. Cow and Chicken. That was another one. Two Stupid Dogs. That guy that was on that show, every time they fucking did something and he'd be like, oh, isn't that cute? But it's wrong. That one stuck with me for years. Anytime somebody said something was cute, I was sure they were going to follow it up by yelling. Blue, message retracted. You put that back. I don't know what happened. Fingerprints. No. I said fingerprints. Oh. It's time for Animaniacs. We have paid in full contracts. Learning lots of facts. Well, Clinton plays the sax. We're Animaniacs. King Kong Phooey. Yep. Johnny Bravo. That show was wild for children. And like the thing is that Johnny was a good dude and he would always wind up doing the right thing, but it's like he was literally a 20-something-year-old guy who hung out with a little girl and would constantly ask women if they were 18. And he was just a horn dog everywhere he went. It was very strange. No, Stark. Do not start with that growling nonsense, buddy. Duckman. Johnny Bravo and Scooby-Doo, yep. What's his name? The show that would never be allowed on the air anymore today. Johnny Quest. Because of that Sim Salabim shit. Damn. This stuff is wet and sticky and slightly tacky and would look good on somebody's face. I didn't say that. So it's dancing along. Duckman. I don't remember Duckman. Which doesn't mean it didn't exist. I just literally have no recollection of it. What other shows were there? Yeah, Gargoyles was great. That was one of those shows that was ahead of its time. Wet and sticky, slightly tacky. Sounds like your kind of good time. Absolutely. Heavy stuff for a kid show. Absolutely, yeah. They were fucking killing their villains and stuff on that show. And there was corporate greed and all kinds of things that factored into the storyline and the plot of the show. Yeah, they definitely went harder than they needed to on Gargoyles. But at the same time, they wonder why most kids are radicalized these days. It's because we grew up watching that and Captain Planet. I miss Space Ghost. Xanatos. Gargoyles. Jesus Christ. Come on, you bastard. Famine. It's just glue. You don't need to be so aggressive. You're just glue. Oh dear. Oh. Next Generation. Yeah, there was a lot of people on that show. Like, I was a huge fan of Xena and Hercules. So that female gargoyle that was the bad chick, but then she turned good chick, kind of like Xena did. Certainly did a lot for young Famine watching that program. If you know what I'm saying. Demonia, yeah. Or Demona. No, it's Demona. Doesn't matter. I'm certainly not going to look that up on Rule 32 later if that's what you're thinking. Yeah, it's pretty incredible how like fucking the cast of Hercules and Xena, the people that were like primarily on Xena turned into good shit human beings, and then there's Kevin Sorbo. And it's so bizarre that Sam Raimi did so many episodes of Hercules and Xena. Disappointed! Because that wasn't Hercules. That was, I think, his like bad evil twin. Christ, I can't remember. What was the plot of that stupid episode? But like, yeah, truth be told, you know, you get your syndication money from shows like that, so you really don't have to do much. Wasn't it called Land of the Lost, or, you know, Living in the Land of the Lost? I remember watching Cleopatra 2525. I like that show. And that had Gina Torres in it. That was my first introduction to her, and I'm like, oh my god, who is this gorgeous fucking goddess of a human being? Literally the Lost World. Oh, yes, no, I remember now. Yeah, and it was like quite literally, it was Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's Lost World, right? They were explorers going to... I had chicken parm for dinner tonight, too. I have leftovers in the fridge. Saved for when it comes time to eat my feelings. trying to think. Yeah, because I remember, didn't they do the whole bit where somebody captured a pteranodon of some sort or a flying reptile and brought it back to the mainland and the fucking thing got loosed inside of a place? I can't remember. I'm going to have to look that up later. You have triggered my memory box. There is no God. That is true. There is only Zool. Owa. Owa, owa. Sturt. You're burdened by a glorious porpoise. You just have a really great dolphin on you. How am I doing the joints and the angle? Very poorly. Literally just cutting them with a pair of side cutters. I'm not doing any fancy carpentry or anything like that. Now I could cut them all at whatever the angle is here. It's not 45s, but I could do that, but I'm not going to on account of I don't want to. That's not me being a dick. It's just I sincerely don't want to do all that extra work for that. But literally, I'm just laying the piece down and cutting the angle, and then popping it off and gluing it in place. Nothing too complex, my friend. But we'll get there. We'll get there. And you can see this was for the boys. This was part of the floor previously, and I just popped it off of the old foam to rescue. Some of these pieces are, really stuck on there, so I'm not making too much of an effort. Too much of an effort. Camera looks like you're getting busy there. Maybe I am. Sometimes people get busy, Do. Yep. I got busy once. work. All right, so that'll get glued on there. I can come back and sand those down later. Cuts into your cigarette time. I heard that in Roger's voice. I don't like being busy. Gets into my cigarette break time. That's when all the best gossip happens. Time too. Her. All right, cats and kittens. I'm going to let this dry a little bit here. Clean up some of this debris. Drink some water. Do a little organizing while I'm letting some things dry. Did you have a day off this week, Bjorn? Barbie Dream stand-up stage. Hi, I'm Barbie. Do you want to hear a joke? Sure, Barbie. Next day off is Sunday. Door openings. Yeah, I'm going to be using, I'm going to be making some doors by hand for it. And, yeah, I'm excited about that. Whoa. All this debris here. Get all that off of there. That will throw away. Now empty, turned into a culvert for raccoon family. I have miniature raccoons to live in Gimmick. They're baby rocket raccoons from a playset. And then once again, because I have a captive audience, I'm going to show this thing off again because I'm very fucking proud of it. Yeah. So goddamn proud. Started off that color. Boom. Yeah. There we go. All right. This is going to dry overnight. I do want to thank everybody for being here. Get up there. Ignore whatever's in your way. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I am Famine. If you like this, subscribe. If you're watching the replay, I appreciate it. Any questions or comments, drop them down below. Grandpa, have a good night. If you want, check out Patreon, patreon.com/FamineStudiosX. If you would like, you can also check out ko-fi.com/FamineStudios if you want to make a one-time donation to the channel or buy me a coffee or whatever it is. And yeah, check out the T Public store, Famine Studios X. I hope you guys have an excellent night. Be well. As always, too sweet me. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.